here with Nate from Motovation USA.
What's up?
Want to show us this custom 1000RR you modded up for one of your friends?
Yeah. So this is something that'll strike your fancy a little bit here. I know you're into the BMW.
Yep.
Got the S1000RR by BMW, of course, in package. So it already came with the carbon wheels and the paint scheme. But what we've done is taken it really to the highest level we could. Starting with the bodywork, it's just dripping with carbon fiber, all made by a company called Ilmberger out of Germany. So we figured, German bike, gotta have German carbon.
What's the lead time on the carbon parts?
That depends on which carbon part.
Got it.
Fenders, things that are similar that they can bang out through their molds are a little bit quicker, even with all the issues right now out of Germany. 4 to 5 weeks. Okay.
What about
belly pans?
Belly pans.
Belly pans is a bigger issue right now.
So like 12 weeks, maybe longer.
12 to 16 weeks is typical. The belly pan is the one thing that we've got a lot of people waiting on, and it just is what it is. What happened actually is Ilmberger got chosen to be the manufacturer for all the bodywork for the new M1000.
Okay.
So not only are they making the aftermarket stuff, they're actually OEMing for BMW. So every M1000 that rolls off the showroom floor is from Ilmberger. Well, Ducati liked it so much that they also chose the Superleggera to have all the bodywork made from Ilmberger. So right now, Ilmberger went from being like straight aftermarket to now OEMing for 2 of the top manufacturers.
And if you're them, you prefer OEM over?
Well, I will say, like, the owner of Ilmberger, Julius, he's an old racer. I mean, these guys are racing guys. Like, they take their stuff very serious. I just think that when Ducati and BMW come knocking, you open the door. And that's just how it goes. They are doing a lot to increase the production to help the wait times. But anytime someone says belly pan, I just have to smile because I'm like, get comfortable.
You're like, luckily it's not that hard to change, but...
Right. Do everything first, flap your belly last. The other coolest thing on this bike that just recently came out is these mirrors here. Again, they don't look like mirrors, they just look like a piece of bodywork. But when you need them to be mirrors, either to actually utilize or pass whatever your inspection is, it's a simple flip up, now you've got mirrors. When you're ready to go back to the track, flip it right back down. All the testing shows that at, I believe it was 140 miles an hour, there's 6 pounds of downforce added just from the mirrors. And on the front, that makes a big difference. So those are super cool.
Especially on a bike.
Yep, those are super cool. Standard stuff, we've got the Puig racing windscreen, just kind of gives you a little bit more height when you're tucked. That's pretty much a given on all bikes. Seat cover we had custom made. You'll see it says Griff. Again, one of our buddies, Michael Griffin, this is his bike, and so we had to add a little custom touch for him, of course.
Does it have more cushion than the factory one?
It can. So what they offer, the company's called Louis Moto out of Canada. They make custom seats. They'll make you just a seat cover if you want, but they have a gel insert kit, and it's very simple. You go in there and you literally just score a square out of your stock seat, peel it out, and then drop this piece in, put your cover on, and it's worlds. The rear sets, I was kind of speaking earlier, those are the Gillis Tooling, another German company. So German bike, we try to stick to at least German or European parts as we can. Real simple protection, we like Evotech Performance.
Okay.
They're actually out of the UK, but their stuff is, it's not very flashy, but it's very functional. We've all crashed on it, tested it, and said this is the stuff to go. So you'll see fork sliders, rear axle sliders, and frame sliders. We didn't want to put a whole lot of protection on this bike because, to be honest, this is more of a show pony than anything else. We're really not putting this on the track. The most noticeable piece on this bike is that it actually does have a World Superbike exhaust. So for a long time, there wasn't an exhaust option for this bike that didn't require piecing together, headers, slip-ons, things like that, which is what most people do. But when BMW started racing this bike in World Superbike, SC Project had an exhaust made for it. And it wasn't available for consumers. It was just true race exhaust. But people just kept asking for it. And long story short, SC Project basically said, well, here's what it costs to make this racing exhaust, And people said, yeah, I'll pay that. So there are some World Superbike exhausts out there. This happens to be one of them. So this is
That's why the price tag's around like $3,500-ish.
Yeah, it is. And again, it's made with a different group than that makes all the standard exhausts. And so we always tell people, like, racing stuff, it's very cool and it's very loud, it's very fast, but it's also thinner wall titanium. Everything's trying to be light. So you got to remember, These racers don't keep their bikes for 5-6 years. These racers are changing this stuff out every season, if not multiple times per season. So racing stuff's not always built for longevity. But other than that, it's got the Brentune in it.
What's that red thing on the swing arm?
So that is a chain adjuster made by a company called Light Tech.
Okay.
And what's the best part about those is there's an actual very distinct click, mechanical click feel to every adjustment. So you're not just lining up bars, you're actually counting clicks, which is just like your suspension, your forks, things like that. It's a lot more precise when you can say, okay, 3 clicks out. Whereas the other ones, it's like 2 nuts and a bolt, and you're just trying to like measure them so they get close. So yeah, that's called a chain adjuster, and it's made by Light Tech, and it's a very trick piece.
Do you notice a riding difference on the higher speeds, or it's just more just for precision?
It's more for when you're pulling your wheels off and you're swapping out your race wheels or anything like that, or you're changing out chain or sprocket sizes or anything like that, and you just have to make it. When you're riding around the street, it may not matter if you've got just a slight degree off, but when you hit the track, you don't want to know that your wheel is maybe cocked just a little bit or it's not exactly lined up on both sides. So it's really more just a precision tool just to make sure you don't introduce any problems down the road.
Gotcha.
And then we've got Rhizoma levers on this bike. They're adjustable, which is great. They're also adjustable in length. So like some people say, oh, I want a long lever, oh, I want a shorty lever. You get both. Okay. So you can slide them out, slide them in.
What's your opinion on shorty levers?
I like a short brake and a long clutch.
Okay.
Just kind of goes back to a lot of my dirt riding days where one finger brakes. But I'm not a 1 or 2 finger clutch guy. I need a much more control. Yeah. So I like that setup. And there are some lever companies that will let you custom get one size different than the other side.
But this allows you to. And then how do you adjust the length on these?
You see this piece right here is a slider. So there's a little bolt right here. You loosen that up and this thing's going to slide out.
Or push it.
Or push in. So yeah, you can see how much more movement we could go in there. So these just allow your adjustments for how far out you want it to engage.
Got it.
But this will actually give you a shorter one. And then it's keeping with Rhizoma, they've got their lever guard here.
That's more for racing, all right?
It is, but where you are with lane splitting, man, I'd have one on because somebody clips that brake lever of yours with a mirror or something like that, and you're going over. So
it's going to taste good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're mandated in racing now because there were so many incidents with tight riders and making contact with brake levers. The more interesting thing is what the MotoGP guys have them on is obviously for the same reasons, but at certain speeds there's enough wind to start depressing your brake lever.
Oh shit.
And so what this is actually doing is kicking that wind up and over that knob. And granted, I've never had it happen to me, but they claim at certain speeds there is wind pushing on that brake lever, and if you've got very sensitive brakes like a MotoGP bike, you're gonna feel it.
Gotcha.
So
with gas prices, I'm a little nervous about the Rhizoma gas cap cover.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what the biggest deal is. This piece right here, what we call the little shark fins.
Yep.
These break on every S1000 we've ever seen, the stock one just breaks.
Really?
We don't know if it's a flex or anything like that, but we probably have sold more of those than any piece of carbon, and everyone says, my stock one broke, my stock one broke. It's cheaper to buy the carbon one than it is to replace the stock plastic one.
I'm sad BMW didn't make it symmetrical.
So you're in that's a debate. There's a lot of people that miss the old asymmetrical setup, and then there's a lot of people that it's almost like they need to do one or the other.
Yeah.
Either go symmetrical or not. Because when it was asymmetrical, everybody was like, oh, the headlight's weird. But then when they went away with it, everybody missed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit strange. I'm not sure what drives them to do that, because if you pull it all off, the motor doesn't dictate that it had to be asymmetrical. It's just a bodywork change.
Yeah.
But again, I am not a BMW engineer, and I have a ton of faith in those guys, so they did it for a reason.
There's a reason behind it.
So,
want to show off any of your other cool stuff?
Yeah, we can take a quick.
We forgot to add the important fact.
What's that?
You are SC America.
Yep. So we are
North America.
Right. So we're here. The building we're in here is Motovation Accessories, and that's kind of our main parent. But we are SC Project North America. So every exhaust that came in the United States, whether to a consumer, to a dealership, in Canada, in Mexico, or anything, it comes here first. We've been working with the SC Project Factory since their beginning, and we've become we're their American family, they're our Italian family, so it's far beyond just a business relationship at this point. So we're very grateful for those guys, but it allows us so many unique opportunities given that we are exclusive. Like everything comes here. So we have influence on the design of exhaust for the US market. We can always tell them like, hey, that may work in Germany, but it's not going to work here. Or, you know, sometimes there's actual physical motorcycle differences in the Italian model versus the US models, and we have to work with them on that to get, you know, exhaust developed for it. But yeah, being exclusive with them has been fantastic. It's probably our primary product here, and so we know all about it, and it's been a very fast growing exhaust company, very fast.